It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And as you can see, it ain't nothing but total fear in my eyes. But before we talk about this thumbnail, let's take it back to how it came out from the beginning. What's good, social media? This your boy Nick Love with the FrenchKissIntimates.com. And right here we talking about the first time I ever went skydiving. Me and my old lady, we was out on the town one night talking, and I heard her say just in passing that she was thinking about going skydiving because that was on her bucket list. That too was on my bucket list when I was younger. Fast forward, I never did that. So later on that night, I had went and found a place that had an opening for the date that we had needed. Fast forward to that, the big day arrived. It's her birthday. She didn't know nothing about where we was going, but she was pretty much a trooper because my old lady, she rode with me anywhere. So while we riding to the place, mind you, it's about an hour drive and the scenery looking very country-like. I see my old lady, she looking back and forth through the ride, and I'm looking at her look out the window, and she look back at me, and she look out the window, she look back at me, and then I heard her say it in a real slow, real low tone, like, are we going horseback riding or something? Almost like she was disappointed, because pretty much like I said, the terrain looks very country-like, so it's an understandable conclusion. Now we finally arrived to the spot, and you really still can't tell what it looked like because from driving up through the parking lot, it looked like a big barn area almost. Not a barn, but it looked kind of sort of like that. And plus you're walking up from like a dirt parking lot. Mind you, never mind the fact that there's actually people literally falling from the sky in the not so far distance. But you got to be looking up to see that. And who looking up while they walking like that? It ain't until you actually open up the doors that's when you realize that this is a skydiving facility. So once we finished paying for the experience, they offered me to purchase a video package. The price to me was just too expensive, so I just told them, no, I don't want to do it. Because me thinking, hey, I got my gimbal and I got my Android. I can get the best selfies from the sky that the gram ain't going to understand about. Plus, my Android got me covered. I got like an S7 or something. It was good enough. So after they attempted to upcharge, we had to fill out this big, long release form. Now, when I say release form, dude, I mean a release form. Basically, in a nutshell, no matter what happens today, if anything go wrong, it ain't their fault. It don't matter, period. You die, you can't sue them. Your parachute don't open, you can't sue them. You break a leg, you can't sue them. Basically, you can't sue them for nothing. But on the slight chance you're able to sue them in court and you happen to win, in this release form, you obligated to pay them whatever you win in the contract against them.
Bruh.
Now, after you finish with the release form, they send you to another room where they do a safety briefing, which give you all the necessary information to prepare you for your first jump. Remember this tad bit of information because it's very useful later on. They tell you how high you're going to be flying, how many miles per hour you're about to be falling from the plane, how many feet from the ground you expected to pull your parachute to drop safely to the ground. You know, all the needed information for your safety. So during the safety briefing, they also explain that cell phones, they're not allowed on jump because basically you coming down so fast that you're going to just wind up dropping your phone and you ain't going to never find it. Plus, you know, some of the angles that they had taken from the jump look way better than what my little selfie and gimbal was going to do. So afterwards, I decided to go ahead and get the video package. As we can see, it was worth it. We finally get to meet our jumping partners that's waiting in the room, and it's obvious that they get ready to prepare for the next jump, for the next group, which is me. Now, with this video package, they give you a quick interview for your jumping experience. They ask you basically all the questions they gave you the answer to in that long safety briefing.
Hey Nick!
What's good, baby? What's good? What's good?
Welcome to Skydive Spaceland Dallas. You got one very fancy getup going on right there?
I mean, you know, gotta stay official. Gotta stay official.
Tell everybody watching this video what are we about to go do.
I'm about to go up into the sky and fly up out the sky. I'm gonna look like a pretty little bird, like a pretty little bird coming down, real zooming fast. Kind of like how you, but what's the name? Mission Impossible.
Oh, nice.
I'm about to get my Mission Impossible on today. I'm gonna fly out through the sky and zoom on down. How are we going again?
We're gonna go 14,000 feet. That's 2.5 miles up in the air. After we jump out, how fast do you think we'll be going?
20 miles.
120 miles per hour.
That's what I do on my bike.
That's super fast. You shouldn't do that. It's dangerous. We don't do dangerous things here.
Well, I used to do on my bike. I used to do on my bike.
Do you remember what altitude we're gonna pull that parachute at?
600.
6,000.
6,000.
Yeah, if we pull at 600, you ain't gonna survive it. You know, how do you gonna know we're at 6,000 feet?
This
little trusty ground detector.
Yeah.
It says 0 right now. Let's make sure it doesn't say 0 when you decide to pull.
When it say in the 6 and the 7.
Yeah, that's correct.
I knew that.
Well, the plane's actually on the runway already. We're about to go get on and have the time of your life. The question is, are you ready?
Now?
Yeah. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Dude, at least one of us is. High five.
Now that we finally get into the plane, attached to your tandem partner, which is awkward, I'm trying to make sure this dude is in a happy place since my life is in his hands. I'm asking him all types of questions. Are you married? You got a girlfriend? You got kids? Do you love them? Dude, all these questions to make it to where I can feel comfortable to make sure that this dude don't got nothing else on his mind today while we up in this earth. Now, once we take off on the plane, we was actually the last people to load the plane. Me thinking I'm slick made it to where I was the first to jump out. Now, we actually had an experienced diver on the plane that was getting some needed hours to be an instructor. What was a surprise was watching this dude leave the plane first before anyone else do. Just to see the doors open and see a human just disappear. Like how the kids did back during their Zoom challenge a couple years ago, except for this was in the sky. Remember, my old lady, she with me, so I got her convinced that I ain't scared of nothing. So I got to see this through the end. Now, the two cameramen that's recording our experience, the two of them looked at us and asked, hey, which one of you two going first? I looked directly over my wife, dead in the eyes, and told her, you the birthday girl. You go first. No shame. I ain't got no shame about it. Now, we finally reached the 14,000 feet, which is the drop zone. And they opened the doors again. Only this time, it's our time to jump. Now we done caught up to where we started, from where the video showed you. My old lady, she the first to go, and she just disappeared quickly, just gone. The first thing that went through my mind was, oh shit, I gotta go get her. But she disappeared so fast that by the time I got to the door, I couldn't see her at all. Dude, real talk, I thought she had already hit the ground. That's how fast she disappeared. Now it's my turn, and this is when I knew it wasn't no turning back. They did the countdown, no swaying back and forth, and on 3, we left the plane. Side note, when you watching movies like Mission Impossible, Point Break, and you see them skydiving looking all happy and stuff, know why they just zipping through the sky? That shit's fake. That's the movies, man. True enough, it's very exhilarating, and it's a rush. But for your boy, it was too much, man. Oh, god damn it, god damn it. Dude, when I hopped out the plane, after the initial shock wore off, and it wore off fast, bruh, all I was trying to do was just breathe. All that air up there, and I couldn't breathe for nothing, for shit. Look at me right now. Straight struggling. The instructor, he having a grandiose old time. I mean, he used to this here. Nothing but just a regular day at the job. For me, I can't breathe. My lips is getting dry as quick as I moisturize them. Dude, LL Cool J couldn't keep his lips this wet up in the sky. I'm telling you, it was real. Now, the ground is getting bigger and closer extremely fast. It was pretty chilly up there too, now that I think about it, because I think when we jumped, it was like about 89 degrees outside, which is warm. But up there, it was cold. It was cold. Now, remember the approximate feet they said you're supposed to pull the cord for the parachute?
600.
6,000. 6,000. Yeah, if we pull a 600, you ain't gonna survive it.
Where during the descent to the ground, I was supposed to be checking my wrist to watch and see what the pressure gauge is so I know when to pull the cord. I wasn't looking. Luckily, my instructor was, and he pretty much pulled the cord in the nick of time. So he was the real MVP. I was still free falling, but my instructor, he pretty much saved the day. So now we settled to the ground, and the view pretty breathtaking. No, not like breathtaking like how it was when I couldn't at first. I mean, it looked good. The ground looked so small, but it was so much of it. It made it look so huge, almost like a big jumbo puzzle. You could actually see pieces of the ground as to where they separated. It looked good. Now by this time, we finally see the other parachutes, coming down, sailing down to the ground with us from earlier, and we all looked to be like we was enjoying ourselves. My instructor asked me if I wanted to take the reins to the parachute to see if how I wanted to just glide down to the ground. So I took them. So I took both of them, and I just pretty much just coasted on down. For me looking down, I see another parachute just spinning, just. And I asked my instructor, man, what's going on? He said, oh, they doing some tricks. You want to do something? I said, yeah. So this dude loosens up the strap on my chest on my harness, and I slightly drop. This freaks me out. He then immediately just pulls just one cord, and we start fucking spinning. Dude, my eyes got so big, all I could yell to this dude was stop. And I just kept yelling stop until we finally did. He stopped the parachute by pulling both the handles down. Now mind you, what this does is that it initially brings the parachute closer to your head, which in turn limits the amount of air between you and the parachute, which slow you down some. The problem with that is that when you have to release the handles to bring the parachute back to normal, it creates a pocket of air between you and the parachute that needs to be filled back up. And once this happens, you get another quick free fall before you level back out. It feels like when you're going up a roller coaster and then you finally get to start down. The butterflies you get in your stomach, that's what happened to me. Dude, I started kicking my feet like a little kid because I didn't know what was going on, and it felt like we was dropping again. I was in fear, dude. Man.
As you can see, I just come out of the air looking like a pretty skydiver, as you can see. I was scared as shit. I got the pee bad as hell. It's like a big roller coaster. Nobody did what I did. I'm the man.
You step from that thing right there. Whoa! There it goes again.
You see what? I'll tell you how about this.
Nick, which part was your favorite?
Hitting the ground.
Hitting the ground?
Hitting the
You
ground.
didn't hit it. You tiptoed to it.
Did you know?
How'd you like it? Was it awesome?
All in all, the most exhilarating or I guess scary part of skydiving is the jumping from the plane and the free falling. The most blissful part of skydiving, that's the parachuting down part. The most happiest part of the skydiving is landing on the ground. The safety part. That's what I like.
Question is, are you gonna do it again? Hell yeah! Just make sure you do it right here, Skydive Spaceland Dallas. Thanks for jumping with us. We'll see you next time. Yeah, bud.
I'm not going nowhere.
When he asked if I'm coming back to jump again, that was in the moment. Fast forward to today, hell no, I know better.